few of my takeaways from yesterday, and then we can go ahead and get started on those. So for me, my biggest thing was going back into the reminder of like staying clear on like why I'm here, and reminding consistently that like people who will stay consistent will rise to the top. So plugging in, basically plugging in. So for me, like just staying consistent and plugging in and keeping that reminder like every day, and then like doing the work the best that I can do. That's only going to reflect, and then identifying like what I want daily based off my goals and my team's goals, and that all kind of goes into one thing. Another thing was like just adding in more of everything, like more focus for me, more like Herbalife clothes, like wearing more Herbalife clothes to the marketplace. I'm wearing my button more, taking more products. And that's just something like personal responsibility that I get to take on. So that was like a big takeaway for me. It's just like a constant reminder for myself. So let's go ahead and move on to that. Takeaways, I'm gonna go ahead and popcorn. Let's go with Lex.
Okay, so my biggest takeaway, I had a few. My first was when Caitlin edified like qualities to focus on and continue to embody. So transparency, authenticity, progression, and results. So you always want to be transparent with who you are, like on social media, with who you're meeting with in the club, whatever that is. And then being authentic. So being authentic, continuing to like post on social media. And when you're posting, just make sure that you're being like your true self. So like Kaylin described, like she was not posting like when she was making her shakes and teas or like where her background was because she really didn't love like where she was at. Like doing that, having people relate to you, certain things like that, like being transparent and authentic within that. And then letting like your friends, your family, like whoever that is, see like your progression. So like you're here right now, but then you may be here like the next couple of days, like whatever that is. So like I've shared on my social media within the past like 2 to 3 months, like how I was in the like beginning of, I think it was November, I had all these problems with like my apartment complex and whatever. And then I had people come to me like, you're so positive. You've progressed so much within the past like couple of months. And I'm so glad that like you were able to like go through that, whatever that is. So just like being able to be relatable with people and whatnot and showing your progression, like people love to see that. And then your results, so always continuing to have results regardless if it's physical, mental, like regardless of what that is, like continuing to show up and showing people like your friends and family that you're gonna continue to take your products and continue to get results. And then my other was just back to the basics, use word talk. I don't like to talk my social media. I did today. I was like, no matter what, it was busy at the club today in my eyes. So I was like, no matter what, I'm going to post when I leave, let people know like it was a busy day for me, and kind of just like edify like the Be Yours challenge, because I haven't really been posting that on social media. So edifying that after having like a busy day, and then reposting, making sure I'm posting like my button, inviting to the club now more since I am a silver member. I really haven't been doing that. So doing that, and then what else? There was one more thing. Oh, consistency is your new best friend. So being consistent no matter what, continuing to be consistent with regardless of what it is that you're doing, consistency is your friend. So that is it. Those are my biggest takeaways. And then I'm going to popcorn. MK.
What's up, you guys? So the biggest takeaway for me was the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So no matter what you're doing, you're putting all of your heart into it, whatever you want to achieve. Remember, at the end of the day, so sometimes, you know, you might be going through something, and this kind of just happened to me, and it's like, okay, do I think about the problem or do I think about the end result? So you just keep going, just keep your focus. You know how they always say, like, don't let the distractions bother you, just keep going, focus straight ahead. So that was something that I got huge, one of the biggest takeaways. So I will popcorn Rachel.
One of my biggest takeaways was what Enrique said about what his coach always drilled into his team's head is wake up with Mark Hughes and go to bed with Jim Rohn. I really like that because, you know, you could talk to anybody in this business. It's not just our organization. Everyone says the same thing, you know, listen to your personal development, and that includes Mark Hughes and Jim Rohn for sure. And it really just makes sure that you're listening to the right people and giving you the right message. I always talk about personal development is what I always need to work on. I can always do more. So I really took that away. And then one of my other things I really liked that kind of just I don't know, gave you a vision of what you should be aiming for is 7 people to extravaganza, 7 people frontline equals Mel team. I was like, okay, like, all right, thank you for, you know, kind of being like, here's the standard. This is what we should be aiming for. And I really liked that when they mentioned it. So it just kind of kicks me into gear to really not only just build my clientele, but build my frontline as well. So I really like that. And I will popcorn Bethany.
I wasn't there if you want to pick someone else.
Okay, Ray.
I'd say my biggest takeaway was just everyone at every level has gone through that same thing where people quit and drop out. It just comes with it. It's kind of just like what MK said. It's just like blinders on. It doesn't matter who leaves out of your business. Not to say like this happened to me or anything like that. It's just, it's going to happen. Just be prepared for it. But I will popcorn. Angel, you driving, dog. You can't do it. You can't participate. That. Drive safe.
I got it. I got this. I'm listening.
Nah, you watch the road. It's bad out there.
Okay.
Ollie,
I'll go last. I should be home by the time it's over.
Okay.
I mean, by the time the end.
Perfect. I popcorn Holly.
Okay, so my biggest takeaway was being coachable and really plugging into the structure and the system that we're given, because I know when I first started, I was like, I'm not getting on team calls. I'm not coming to events. Like, I just wanted to do the business. Like, I just wanted to be around the people, really. So once I really started, like, plugging into the team calls and the events and come around more, I definitely saw, like, a difference in my business. And then also just, like, playing full out. So before, it was, like, just, like, a hobby to me. Like, oh, okay, I can help, like, 1 or 2 people this month. Great. Extra cash, that's great. But it's not a hobby. Like, this is a business, and we get to help people every single day. So really just knowing and being, like, super clear on, like, what I want for this, and knowing, like, that I can help as many people as I want, and there's no, like, cap on that, and just really just playing, like, full in on that. So that's my biggest takeaway. And then I will popcorn Brooke.
Hold on, real quick, Holly. You can stay off mute too. You can stay like off mute too, because I want to ask you a few questions. So,
Okay.
like, what was it for you that changed? Like, that was like the switch for you when you were like, okay, like now is the time for me to be more coachable, for me to be more open and transparent with yourself, that has allowed you to grow, you know, because obviously, like, you in the club now, you're growing, and that's going to lead to like a lot of more things for you leading up to extravaganza, LDW. Like, what was the switch for you? Like, some people might want to hear that. Like, what was the switch that determined, like, this is the time for me to get there?
Okay, so really, like, the switch happened, it was around, like, November. So I found out I had to have surgery on my ankle, and I was like, okay, now is, like, the perfect and exact time for me to, like, really take things on, like, full on, because I was out of work until, like, honestly 2 weeks ago. So I was like, this is my time to get, like, super clear on what I want. And if I really want Herbalife to be my full-time everything, then, like, this is the time that I really get to see, like, what this can do for me. So I really just, like, I don't know, I sat at home, and that's when I really started, like, get deep into, like, personal development. And I really started to, like, do a lot of mind dumping and just letting go of things that no longer serve me. So like before I would just focus on things that like there was no reason for me to even focus on them. So now I'm just like getting super clear with like, okay, if I want this is what I get to do, and like I need to cut out other things in my life and just be more serious. And then like with Parma Nutrition going to be opening soon too, like that's always been like when I first started the business is because like we were going to open a nutrition club. Like I loved being in that environment. So like knowing that Parma was going to open too made me realize like, okay, if I want to be behind the bar and like really make this everything, like I need to step it up. My volume needs to go up. I need to help more people, just all of that. So I think it was like really right before I had surgery, I was like, okay, the time is now and everything happens for a reason. And like I even mapped out like a whole 90-day plan. So I know like exactly when I get to leave my job, when I get to open a club. And I just got like super clear because I know if like I want to give my mom money to help her pay for her bills because that's my overall end goal, and be able to quit my job because every day I go to my job and I leave crying every single day because I don't like being there. It's so negative. It doesn't serve me. So I know like today was like my 18th day working in a row between my full-time job and the club. And I would not like change that for a second because I know how much like it's all going to pay out in the end. So just knowing like the time is now and it's like there's no other time but now. So just playing like full out in that and just getting super clear with like what I get to do.
Love it. I think Ray had asked what is mind dumping to you? Like what does that mean for you? And then we could go into
Okay. So really if like there's anything negative on my mind, like so me and my mom aren't always on the best terms. Sometimes like we just argue. So like we have our bank accounts linked. Really long story, but our bank accounts are linked. So if she texts me and she's like, oh, well, you spent this much money somewhere, instead of like being in my old mindset where I'd be like, why are you looking at it? Like, you know, I just like write it down and I kind of just like anything that bothers me, I just let it go because there's no reason to stay hung up on things or anything like that. So anytime I'm feeling like negative or sad, mad, annoyed, like anything like that, instead of like taking it out on someone else, I just write it down and just get it out and just like let that stress go because it doesn't bother me anymore. Like I know before I would like me and my mom would argue, like we'd be yelling at each other, like I'd be like, don't look at my stuff, like what are you doing? But now I'm just like, you know what, it's fine. Everything is literally no problem. So it's really just like a mindset shift and just like writing down everything that no longer serves me and just getting rid of it. And also like sometimes I'll like write out a letter or something and then I'll like burn it because then I know like it's just gone and it's out of my way and I don't need it because there's no need to like keep it either because I don't want to go back and read that and then have those emotions again like, oh, I was mad this day, let me go read it and then be mad again. There's no point in that. So just like burning it and letting it go and just get out of my system and stuff like that. So.
Really good, Holly. Real quick, I just want to say that's super good with the mind dumping. To add on to that, though, just know, like you guys, mind dumping sometimes when you're really busy or really in massive action, it's really good to get the positive down too and get the goals down and get the structure down and get what is like a immediate, what gets to be taken care of today, what is a weekly goal. Like it's good to do those types of things as well, but it's also good to get the bad feelings out. And it's also good to talk about the good feelings because what you're doing is you're creating more of that for yourself and like creating structure and like mind dumping sometimes will clear your mind. It's like cleaning out your closet. So just wanted to add that in there, but Holly, you can go ahead and popcorn somebody.
Okay, thank you. Popcorn, Jared.
Okay. The two of the biggest takeaways that I had, besides what everybody said so far, was I love Enrique said he was watching football on TV and it just kind of clicked for him. Why am I watching other people live my dreams when I haven't hit mine yet? And that was something that kind of really hit home for me. Like, just kind of like, yeah, we think we play full out sometimes and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, always have that foot on the gas and just kind of go for it no matter what. And then the other really big one that I had was when Jay said, yeah, it's great to be VIP, but grow your VIP. So see how many people you have up there with you. And then he said it's basically never ending. So once you grow your VIP, grow your diamonds, grow your whole STS, all that stuff. So just to kind of see it like that, sometimes you can get complacent and be like, well, you know, I'm VIP, like this, that. But to hear him say like, grow this, grow this, grow this, it was like, it's crazy to think that like everybody in that room was because Jay said yes, because Jay got everything started. So just to kind of look at it like that, it was really cool, I thought. And I'm going to popcorn Sam.
Yeah, what's up, you guys? So one of my biggest takeaways was Jay was saying begin with the end in mind. Like basically just, and also like mapping out like what pen you want, figuring out how to get there, and then staying clear on doing that. Have the desire, and then basically just plugging in, and then also borrowing the belief. Like I know we heard this a lot, but I have times where I like, man, I get like real discouraged and like, cause you know, just my volume's not up or what, you know, whatever's going on. But you know, like seeing what Enrique went through, like he was showing his volume from month to month. It was real low and then it was high, and then just gradually gaining that momentum, man. And then seeing like what is really possible, like the kind of money this dude was making, you know, that $150,000 bonus check as just a bonus check. Like that's crazy. So, yeah, like it was just reassurance for me, because I got a lot of doubts, man. So that just showed me like basically borrowing his vision and, you know, seeing what he went through, it just shows you that like it's possible, you know. So that was my biggest takeaway. Let me see. I'm gonna pick Chase.
Hey, real quick, Chase, before you go, Sam, what are some of those doubts that you have, if you feel comfortable with sharing it on here?
Oh yeah, it's no problem. Just like, I don't know, I have months where like I'm like real consistent. I get a lot of people reaching out to me, and then I try to follow up with them, and then I get like no response, and it's weird because like the people that are reaching out to me, like I'm not messaging them or anything. I'm just like working out in the gym, posting videos, not really posting a lot of Herbalife stuff because I don't want people to get the wrong way. But just that, man, it's like really frustrating for me. And I know it's not, I like to think it's not me. Like I don't want to get down on myself, but it's basically just that, because my volume is like nowhere close to where I want it to be. So it's mainly just that.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing Jay told me was what happens to you. Well, really, you can go back to Jim Rohn. The same wind blows on us all, but whatever happens to you, it happens to us all. Like that happens to everybody that's on this call. And Enrique, it probably happened to him more. That's the only difference. It just happened to him so many times more that he has the results that he has now. And same thing with Jay. He has everybody in the room, because if we had 100 people in the room, then probably 1,000 people said no to him outside of the room, and that's why we got 100.
For sure.
But it's just a mentality thing, bro. It just takes time. It's just snapping out of that and going into Jim Rohn, Mark Hughes, or whatever that looks like for you, bro, or hitting the gym. Like that worked for me.
More personal development.
That's for everybody. Absolutely.
Thanks, bro.
Go ahead, Chase.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. So my first takeaway was, which is what Lex said to begin with, was being more transparent. I think just naturally I'm very introverted. Unless I'm comfortable with someone, it's hard for me to kind of get out that shell. And like all you guys do, you post on Instagram just what's going on throughout your day. And I think it's difficult for me to do that. So that's something I'm working on, is just not worrying about what you're wearing or how you're looking or the lighting or how people are going to think you're looking, or stuff like that. And then the second thing was understanding why you came in the business and reciprocating that. So I know for me, in case you all know, I reunited with Hooter last year. We met up at the gym, and instantly he tried to pull me into the business, and I was like, nah, it's not for me. Tried to get me on products. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you in like 15 years. It's the first thing you pitched to me. But what drew me to him was that I was following him on Instagram, and he just kept posting positive stuff. And I was in a state of mind coming to Ohio, like I wanted to leave Ohio. Like I came back here, I wanted to move back to California. It just wasn't for me. I was surrounded by a lot of negative people, and he just kept posting positive things, and I kept skipping it. Like I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to hear it because I was in such a negative state. Like I was kind of jealous of what that looked like, you know? So being that, I want to reach out to more people and do that because I know there's other people out there that watch my stuff or watch your guys' stuff. And they're kind of, they want those positive vibes. So I want to be able to be in a position where I'm putting out that positive energy to where someone just finally, you take them out of a feeling that they're not necessarily want to be in. So I want to be that person who Hooter kind of was for me, which I don't even think I've told him this before. It's the first time he's probably hearing it, but he brought me out of a place where I just wanted to leave and I wanted to run from my problems. And being with Herbalife, it gave me a whole new reason to stay here. Like before Herbalife, I was already planning on moving back, and just being around this group of people and this energy, like that is something that was my biggest takeaway. And that was more so why I joined the business rather than the products. I mean, the products are great, and that's probably the second reason. But the biggest thing was just what it did for me and how it brought me from a state of mind and a state of negativity to a state of positivity and wanting to reciprocate that energy. So that was my biggest thing, just focusing on that and putting on more positive vibes and trying to work on being myself more. So that's all I got to say.
Yep. Popcorn somebody, bro.
All right. Who's on here? Courtney.
Pace, you make my heart happy. That is like so much growth. And I remember your first time coming and you were like all the way in the back. And just to like now, like you're smiling more and like you even saying that, you know, you never told whoever something, that's like so real. And you know, like it's not easy. And I was definitely a person to where talking, I like looked and seen everyone and I'm like, how do they like say something without saying like a million times? Or like I definitely felt that because that was me. And now I'm like posting, sometimes I won't even be up brushing my teeth yet and I'm like, good morning, like, you know, just being so real with it, and it comes natural. So really giving you like so much recognition for that. So that's what I like to start off with. And then my STS takeaways were that if you're not growing, you're dying every single day, and like it's a results driven business. So that means like new like new result for yourself. Like if you want to attract, you have to be attractive. So definitely asking yourself like if you're not, like, are you attractive? And if you're not, like, would you be attracted to yourself? And if you're not, then what gets to change and what do you get to work on? Something small that also stuck with me was when your weight goes down, your income goes up. And I was like, dang, like, you ever just hear something and it's like, wow, like, that's so true, you know? So I noticed, like, when I first started the business, like, I wasn't, you know, like, I was working out and stuff, but then you're like, when you first start something, it's like you feel like your results aren't there yet. So that was definitely me. And then I started like getting results, and then I started attracting people who also noticed too. So that was major for me. And then like the little mountain here, like the little mountain right there where it's like 90% of people fail. It's everything in life, whether it's like one of those real jobs or this and that. Yeah, thanks, Britt, the valley of death, that where 90% of people back out is where I was like, dang, like everywhere you're at in life, people go through stuff, and it's like life testing you. And right after that, like right after the struggle, whether you lose team members or something like that, right after, it's like the biggest blessing, you know, like that's where you need, like that's the next level. So that was also something. And if you quit, then you're going to be a quitter for the rest of your life at anything you do. And then something else last that Jay said was that when you,
he said sometimes you only come in the business for one thing. Like for Jay, it was just the 500 volume points or $500 or something like that, he said. So for me personally, it looked like I just wanted to be supervisor. Like I definitely just wanted the 50% off the products. And then once, you know, you start something and you realize that when you're there, like, you know, you're capable of so much more. So that was me as well. And I felt like, well, dang, like I'm worth so much more, you know, like I can keep going, I can help many more people. And when you like say and know what you want so clear, it becomes like in reach way. So I made it clear that I was worth more than supervisor and that I just get to keep going. And as soon as I did that, like I hit my first cut, you know. So just stuff like that, definitely knowing you're capable of more and that making it so much more closer to you. So those are my takeaways. So I'm gonna popcorn Hannah.
Real quick, Hannah, you're gonna be the last popcorn. Then we're gonna move on to our next section for the call. Whoever didn't get to post their takeaways, can you guys please post them into our DAP to supervisor chat? So whoever didn't get to go, just please post their one, two, three takeaways from the STS yesterday. Go ahead, Hannah. Saw you.
Like me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So my takeaway was don't blend with the miserable people. Being so far away from the community, all the way down here in Kent, and wanting to be up there with you guys, it's hard to stay consistent with like my mindset and everything. I'm getting much better at it, but just like even like not being with you guys, I had to continue like that mindset. Don't let other people's doubts become my doubts. The Valley of Death also was one. And the crab tank, that was really making me laugh because I feel like that's basically a lot of people surrounding me right now is the crab tank. And that is the main reason why I originally wasn't consistent with this. So like I was in the Valley of Death for a while there, and now I'm back climbing that success part. And that's all.
Yes,
All right,
Hannah,
Really
amazing.
good, really good. Go ahead, Brett. Go ahead, Brett.
Thank you.
Fire us up.
Okay, cool. So really amazing takeaways. And I feel like everything you guys said was in our notes, which is like we're moving together because we're all really taking the same stuff, which means we're looking to grow pretty close to the same vision, which is amazing. So coming off of these events, I'm always in my head like, okay, now what? How am I applying this? Like, what's my goal? What do I want to do? So a lot of the takeaways that I'm seeing is really just like either us expanding as humans, which is only going to attract more humans, and or us growing with the people and with more that we want. It all just kind of ties into us building our team and us building our client base and really just like how we're getting the clients, how we're keeping them, and then how they're turning into the team members. So really focusing coming off of this, and since it's like amazing timing because it's only the 10th, we still have so much time to get 20 people and keep them. And literally that would be like a person a day for the rest of February, which is so doable because how many times are we now intentionally on our story, or like Lex is at the club but she knows she wants to get on her story, and something that I got really caught up in after you start figuring out how to talk on your story, it almost becomes like something you just want to do all the time. So I'm in the car talking on the story, I'm in the store talking on the story, but what am I intentionally giving my followers to turn that talk on my story into a client or into a new client? And so I had to really check myself and say, okay, what am I intentionally doing? If social media is my DMO, how am I getting a new client that day? Or did I just tell them like I'm at Aldi's with a grocery bag again? That's not getting a new client. That's cool, but we got to just keep going with that. So take it one step farther. So I would really encourage you guys to figure out whatever it is that's intentional, put it in so it's like jab, 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 right hook into your story. And that's going to get you the new person every day, whatever your goal is, if it is a new person every day. And so then for some of us, we're retailing like crazy and we see it and it feels really good, right? And then we're like, we hit supervisor, we want to get to supervisor, we hear this word PM or preferred member, and we're like, what is that? I don't know how to do that. I was just signing people up and signing people up. And so once we quote unquote graduate or get to supervisor, we get to take our clients with us and let them get to the next step too. So now that we get a higher discount, they get a discount. And so you get to then enroll all of your clients into their next step since you hit your next step. which would be preferred members. And once you do that, they're your clients forever, for life. They have their own site. They can log in, they can order whenever. If you guys saw, I saw so many posts. Golden's the famous, like, woke up with volume. She just wakes up and has volume. And when I first started, I was like, how's she doing that? I didn't wake up with volume, right? Like, I need to sign somebody up. And it's because she has people that can just order themselves, which then you do, like Ray just said, you get paid through a check. So then on the 15th, you're getting money literally deposited. So you can retail as much as you want now too, and then you get paid with that check, which is really cool, because when you start seeing those types of posts, you see there's not a cap and there's no limit to that. So you get to decide how much you're worth and how much you want to make and how many people you want to take with you. And once you turn them into that, yeah, really, sometimes early. Once you turn your clients into preferred memberships, they're getting around the culture a little bit more. They feel the feeling of just like being a part of something, and then they start asking you questions like, how can I do this too? Or I have so many people noticing, right, if they're on there and they're getting a discount and they see how great the products are and how good the company is, they want to do what you're doing, and people are asking them the same questions. So then you get to really build a team and take everybody with you, and you can start doing that now before your supervisor, which is like the most ideal thing, because you're so relatable right now and who you are that so many people can say, okay, well, if you're doing this, like Jay said, if you're doing this, then why can't I do it? So if you're not supervisor yet and you're like, I can't teach anybody, I don't know anything. No, you could probably get 5 new teammates faster than anybody else on the call, because so many people can relate to you and they're like, oh, this is all you did? You just switched over? And okay, yeah, I can do that too. So I would really encourage you guys to also take that perspective on, and it's as soon as you can flip the switch of the perspective that you have, that's going to change everything for you. So now you can take people along with you, have your coach help them, you guys get mentored together, and now you're all hitting supervisor, getting PMs, building a team, and the whole entire room is the people on this call right now and everybody that we want to bring with us. So coming off of that, do we have any questions on building a team, on what it looks like to get a PM, on clients? Comments?
I have a question. I don't really have a question. I would like to see someone come off mute that did get a new PM. If you could raise your hand if you got a new PM this week, this month, so we can have you guys share, like, how did you get that PM, or how did you convert that person?
Yeah, that's good. Wait,
I'll go.
Okay.
Oh wait, are we like going?
Go ahead.
I can go. Okay, so last week I was at the club and I got an order at the club, and I went and described every product that I took out of the box. So I had like tea, aloe, whatever it was, I think shake, I don't know, something. And I just posted on my story, and this girl was like, hey, what is this stuff? And I was like, oh, like, have you ever heard about Herbalife before? Like, you've never heard about it? And she's like, no. Literally got a client, signed up as a PM, because I do PMs no matter what, unless they don't want the discount, which who doesn't? But literally got her signed up as a PM just off of posting on my social media what Herbalife was, and she ordered for the Be Yours challenge. So just being like posting on social media, regardless if people say don't Herbalife vomit or whatever, like post sometimes on your social media, especially if they're new, like what Herbalife is, what the products do for you, stuff like that. That'll help you get PMs. And I got I think I got 3 last month, and they were just clients before, like retail clients, and then I just transferred them over to PMs because they wanted to get discounts on the products. And that's it.
I have a question off of that. What does your conversation look like when they have already ordered to getting them that discount?
So a lot of people that like certain type of conversations I would have, or I would be following up like, hey girl, like, how's your week going? Like having just that simple conversation with them. And then I would bring in, well, how are your products doing? How are you doing on your products? Da, da, da. And then they would go, oh, I'm out of so-and-so, but I don't have the money right now. I can't order until I get paid next week, or I won't be able to order until next month. So having that conversation like, hey, well, you can order at a discount. All you get to do is invest in $35 into a membership, and then you get 20% discount, and you can go all the way to 40%. So that's what I simply say to people, just saying like, why wouldn't you want the discount, especially when you tell me you can't afford the products because you don't have the money right now. So getting the discount, and then, yeah, that's it.
I can go if you guys can hear me. Okay, so I got my PM this month, and she actually a few days later decided to become a distributor. She's a good friend of mine that actually I had reached out to a while ago about the business, and even actually just getting on products, because she has 2 twin boys. She had always struggled fluctuating with weight loss and stuff like that. And then she was always complaining about having money. So I offered her the business. She said no. I said, okay, I respect it. But I still made, hints at her throughout social media these past few months. And she finally reached out to me after JKO. And she was like, I just see you so happy. I see your amazing results. You and Natalia have so much more time together. And you honestly look like you're just having so much fun with your life. And I'm sick of feeling the way that I'm feeling. So whatever I have to do, I want to at least get on the product so I can start feeling good about myself. And I said, okay, let's get you on the preferred membership. VIP membership is wording that I've learned to use as well, because it makes people feel special. It makes them feel that, they can, get the most out of the products. As of right now, what they don't know is that they can get it higher. But she got a preferred membership. A few days later, she was like, okay, I want to start making money. I want to be at home with my boys. I don't like working, serving job and not being able to be at home with them. So I said, okay, we'll take you through this process, get you a 100-person list, and, take through those crucial steps, and show if you're serious. So really just edifying that now I made myself a goal to get at least four to 6 new PMs a month. And that's what I've been changing my wording. And instead of getting clients, I have plenty of clients to, get residual, at least 1,000 to 1,200 volume points a month. I have family members, friends, coworkers, all that, but it's not enough for me. I want the check. I don't want to have to keep working a part-time job. And then now I'm working out of Oberlin Nutrition, which I absolutely love. And I want more. And yesterday at the STS, I cried so many times because I know what I'm capable of. I know that I can bring people with me. I know that I can impact so many lives. I can have a 50K organization, and I will have it. But I have to take the baby steps. I have to become that person to hold the capacity to create that team and hold that team. And I know you guys hold me accountable, and I want to hold you guys accountable. And yeah, I kind of got off topic a little bit there, but I wanted to just share that. So yeah.
Really good, Mariana. And really quick, I see Hannah had asked, can you just sign somebody up as a PM right off the rip? And so I want to really, first see if anybody knows the answer as to not so much whether you can or you can't, or if you would do that. Does anybody know?
I'll go real quick.
Sure.
So, well, with me personally, I don't like to give it to him right away, because I don't want to sound bad, but that's less money for you. And then if I know they're going to order again for sure, within a month, they're consistent with it, then I offer it to them. But you can sign them up right away as a PM, but I personally like to at least wait till they're ready to order a second time to do that.
Okay, good. And the reason for that, Hannah, is because when you sign up as a distributor, you start off at 25% profit and discount on your products. And when you sign somebody up as a preferred member, they now have a discount as well when they order. So they're getting 20%. So it's a wholesale, which means you're getting the 5% profit. So you want to wait until you're at your max profit and discount, usually the 50%, before you want to offer somebody to get a discount on the products. And so then you're able to sell wholesale a little bit better when you're at your max profit. Does that clear that up for you a little bit?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
And then I am going to hand it off to Goldie.
What's up, you guys? It's been an awesome call so far. So I'm going to go ahead and get into some of our next steps. So this coming Tuesday, you guys, at 8 p.m., we have our Hustle and Heart Next Steps call. So I just want to encourage everybody to start reaching out now. And something that Ray has coached me on is when talking to somebody that you want to invite, you could write their name down and talk to them every single day up into the call. Just, you don't have to talk about the call every single day. Invite them and then keep regular conversation going. And then when it's call day, that way it's not like, hey, are you getting on the call? So just keeping that relationship, and then also maybe the first day you're talking to them, second day you can be like, hey, I wanted to add you into our chat, something like that. And we can talk more about that on our active supervisor call. So build active supervisor call. So everybody qualify for that because it's about to be fire. So again, you guys, that's Tuesday at 8 p.m. on Zoom. And if you'd like the information, the info is in the Fear Squad chat. It's pinned literally every call for the entire year. So no excuses. Invite like crazy. It's going to be a direct reflection of your check building, the amount of people that you're able to invite to that call. After that, you guys, this Wednesday, huge Project CLE, as we're having it one time a month. It is so important that we pack the freaking house, you guys, because you only get one opportunity to invite into this powerful event, as we have seen so many people. Real quick, who is a result of Project CLE? Raise your hand. I know a few more of you guys are a result of that, but you're just not raising your hand. But that's okay. I see you, MK and Jared. So Project CLE is so important because you're going to be able to get that third-party validation from other people sharing their stories, which is so powerful to so many people to see what other people are doing and hear the income results from $100 to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. So invite like crazy, you guys. And the same thing with that. Anybody you're inviting to Next Steps, invite them here if they live in Cleveland or in a surrounding city. Talk to them every single day. Just stay on it. Continue to build a relationship. That is the work that is so simple to do, but also very simple not to do. So also one more thing about Project CLE. It starts at 8 p.m. I like to generally say 7:45. Give them a little gap for, ooh, I'm running late, because our event is very short. If they run late, they're going to miss half of it. So invite them early. That way they also have the opportunity to get a shake and tea and taste it and meet other people, cross relationship building. Let's do that. Let's really show up as an organization. Let's pack the house. Let's see how many people we can have. And if you guys want to leave some energy with that building up to Wednesday, let's do it in the chat. How many people do we have committed? How many people have we offered the opportunity to? Don't be afraid to offer it. Think about what this opportunity has done for you guys and really share it, because whether they're going to say yes or no, so what? Just offer it and let it be out there. And then again, you guys, the Thursday orientation is actually pending. So if you have people on the Next Steps call, we will probably know by tonight or tomorrow whether we're going to have it or not. And that's just due to Valentine's Day. Some people are just having some concerns as far as newer people being as committed as you guys are for Valentine's Day. So it's pending right now. If you have somebody on the Next Steps call, feel free to send them a recording if they're interested of an old orientation. And then we'll talk also more about that on our next call for the supervisors. So, and then after that, you guys, power call qualified by the 15th. Who will go ahead and shoot in the chat? Who's all going to qualify for the power call this month? Go ahead and say a big old me. All right, let's get it. Post in the chat when you qualify. That really.
Oh, my bad.
Chat. Oh my gosh, I appreciate the energy. Okay, you guys, so yes, it really fires me up when we see that people have qualified. So shoot that in there. I love that. Let's get all of us on there. And then the next STS, you guys, isn't now until March the 16th. Again, check the calendar, get all your affairs in order, who's the babysitter, all of that, whatever you guys got to do, call off work. And then one tip I just want to add, you guys, LDW for April is not until April. That's when we go away for 2 days, you guys, the 12th through the 14th. And I just want to encourage you guys, because I remember beginning, and even right now, just managing my funds of going away on a trip and getting in a hotel room and sharing it with people and spending gas money and maybe a meal, maybe one meal, shakes, whatever that looks like for you guys. I just encourage you, maybe you save $1 a day until we go away in April. That gives us time to have a nice little bucket. And then also, if you're a new distributor, you get to do 1,000 documented value points before that day, before April, actually, I believe, to be able to qualify and attend an event. And those are the best events. LDW rocks, you guys. It teaches you so much on how to be a leader and how to really take your business to the next level and to really build that check. So we're going to go ahead and come off mute and say how much we love each other and bye. And then if you are an active if you are a supervisor, stay on the call. We're going to get into some gems. If you're not a supervisor, feel free to come off mute, say bye, and hop off. Bye.
Love you all. Love you all.
Peace out.
Bye, guys.
I'm not leaving, but peace out.
Bye.
Peace
Bye.
out.
Bye-bye.
You gotta go. You're not a supervisor yet.
Okay.
One second, y'all. Let's go ahead and shoot into the chats. Our intention for the week.
I texted the girl. She's about to get off. She's new to Zoom, so.
Mary Kay, was that Megan?
Okay, you guys, sorry about that. Let's give it up for ourselves for being on this call. Amazing.
Woo, woo, woo. We on the call.
Woo, woo.
On the call.
All right, you guys. So sorry, Jared and I, his phone, he has like an iPhone 3. It just stopped working, so he had to join me over here right now. But,
it's a 5S. It's not a 3.
All right, you guys. But so right now we are going to kind of set ourselves up really powerful for the week. So set our goals for what physical results and also what business goals we have. So I will start. And one of my biggest things is for my product results, I want to